So today we celebrate the solemnity of All Saints. All of us are called to holiness, and holiness is what wins us sainthood. We cannot be perfect because only God is perfect. But even though we cannot be perfect, we can still be holy. We can still strive to live a holy life. The church categorizes all of us, both dead and living, in three. There's what is called the church militant. The church militant are those, you and I, that are still alive, still struggling with sin, still struggling towards holiness. Then there is the church suffering. The church suffering are those that have died but have not yet been given an opportunity to enter heaven, the souls in purgatory. Tomorrow we shall be celebrating All Souls Day. We are going to talk about this. Then the last one is the category of the church triumphant. Those that have triumphed over sin, those that have triumphed over the temporal punishment of purgatory, those that have finally joined God in his kingdom, the saints. Those that sit with God, those that see God as he really is. They have triumphed over all the struggles of life. And all of us, the church militant, those of us still alive, still struggling with suffering, with sin, are also invited to look forward to that last category of the church triumphant, to triumph over sin and over the temporal punishment of purgatory, and finally enter heaven. No one came on earth to live here on earth permanently. We are all just passing. We are all just pilgrims. But the question is, where are we heading to? We are pilgrims, of course, walking to somewhere. Where are you heading to? Where am I heading to? Being the family of God and belonging to this Christian family, we have only one common destination, and that is the only destination where we should all strive to get to. And that destination is where the church triumphant is. The kingdom of God, heaven, sainthood. Today we celebrate all saints. We have a lot of saints in the church. Some saints, tibaziba, others, tibaziba. Some have been canonized by the church, meaning they've been recognized that they lived a holy life, they lived an exemplary life, so they've been given that status by the church officially as saints. Others, even though they've lived a holy life, they've lived an exemplary life and they've died, have not yet been recognized by the church. But before God they stand as saints because their life is worth of that title, of that status. And so to encompass all the saints, both known and unknown, both canonized and not canonized, the church gives us this day, All Saints' Day, to celebrate all those that have lived a holy life, an exemplary life. Some of them we know them. They are maybe even within our own families. You know that your grandmother was a good person. Your grandmother inspired you in a very important way. Your grandmother lived a holy life. She might not get the opportunity of getting canonized by the church as Saint Banakuru Banda. Nangu Saint Banakuru Chit. So she might not get that recognition, but before God she stands as a holy person, as a saint. Maybe it was your mother or your father or your brother or your friend who lived a life with the status of sainthood. All those are the saints that we have known within our own lives, within our own contemporary times. Maybe even those that lived before we lived ourselves. They lived a holy life. And when we read about them, somebody wrote about them and we read the literature that was produced, and we are like, wow, this was a good person. Wow, this was a holy person. They may not have been recognized officially by the church, but before God they also stand as saints. And so today we want to celebrate their life. Now, the purpose of this solemnity is not just to celebrate the saints. It is also to remind ourselves about the life of holiness. Because those that we call saints today also struggled with sin. They were not perfect. They fell and rose. They continued to fight sin until they triumphed. That is why today they belong to the church triumphant. And their life is not different from ours. It's not like they lived in another planet or they lived in another kind of life where there was no devil, there was no Satana. Satana has always been there. Satana so they faced that same devil, the same devil we are facing today ourselves. But what gained them the status of sainthood? It is because they stood firm, grounded in their Christian values. They told the devil, Satana wachepasan, you're not going to crush me. You're not going to pull me down. I'm going to stand because I stand with God in my life. Even if you come with all your minions, all your small demons to come and push me down, you're not enough because I stand with God. And that is why today we celebrate them as saints. Some of us, not even the devil himself, demon kasa mikwesa kofi mwalala wati kwa ise chinkukuma kurukutu kama washani ka demon yakalifiefi what if it is the devil himself, the master of all devils, comes and hits you? Sito masanta ukefi kusanta ukafi kutaka nono fie necha kucheshi na afirika kamitenka nyepe pa nono fie maybe kapitira mwa chairman, maybe kapitira mli wa child, na kapitira mli nani wakatikist, kapitira mli not mli wa father tamwingira dewe eti kapitira mli wa father kapitira okutati kapitira mli wa disciplinary committee bami kwesa kwe pa nono fie mpa ngamwala wakati kwati nyeti kweki ya isa kurukutu na kuchechu kwa na vile kaeni mwana munga ni mafola isi mafola eni nina bochita bambiri mumoyo wanga chan au mkwai bangi na pachani kutalaba mwenekana na kabili kuchecha aka no. The devil himself didn't even come. He just sent one of his small hinge spirits. The saints that we celebrate today also went through all those things. They were hit left, right, and center. Some of them even fell, but they rose. They told themselves, no, I'm not going to remain down there. I'm going to rise and prove to the devil that is not enough to keep me down. They rose and continued to fight until they died with the status of holiness. And so they stand before God as saints. We're not going to live our life in a smooth manner. We too are going to meet those rough patches. We are going to have our own share of the tough times. But what is important is our attitude towards whatever is coming on us. What is our attitude? Are we going to sit and start crying? Not at all. If you know that the God that you carry within yourself is more powerful, is bigger than anything that is disturbing your life, then you're not going to sit and cry. You're going to stand firm and say, I'm going to belong to that church, the church of the triumphs, those that have triumphed over sickness, over hardship, those that are standing before God as saints. I'm going to belong to that category as well, because whatever is happening to me is not enough to disturb my faith. Jesus today calls us blessed. He says, blessed are you who are poor in spirit. Blessed are you who mourn. Blessed are you who are meek. Blessed are you who hunger and thirst for righteousness. Blessed are you who are... Jesus calls all of us blessed because that is what we are. He's not saying anything new or anything that is far away from us. That is what we are. He is confirming what we are. We are blessed. When we mourn, but we are never disturbed by what has happened. We are blessed when we meet calamity, but we don't allow that to disturb our faith. We are blessed. That is what we are. Blessed are you, peacemakers, not peace crushers. or peace disturbers. Some people are peace disturbers. Pacha mutende kuno abantu bashikala baleseka Africa fintu fyafulunga. You're not against are you? Wala kula pisha. Jesus is saying, blessed are you peacemakers. Where there's confusion, tola po mutende, tola po echibuti. Blessed are you. Blessed are you who are pure in heart. Kuti mutima mwa isulafye, impatira mwa isulafye. Blessed are you who are pure in heart. Pure, what does it mean to be pure? To be pure in heart is not to be perfect, no. But to give God his place in our hearts. That is what it means to be pure in heart. Give God his place, his space. Mupando wabu fumulia. Epo lesa wana kuikala. Mkatika mtima wawi. Give God his space. Blessed are you. Pure in heart. Blessed are you, the merciful. Because you have received mercy from God. And so, you too are called to be merciful to other people. Blessed are you who are merciful. Not who keep grudges. Bakana kumanda. Blessed are you who are merciful. The fact that you live with people within your family, in your smoke-some community, or wherever you are, the fact that you relate with people, you are going to have a few issues here and there with them. Somebody is going to step on your toes. You are going to step on another person's toes. But blessed are you when you are merciful. Not a church came 1982, na leo mchimulalanda. Neji waba chitire choni bana kuluchite na leo na kokulu eba chitire chikashi na ruina na wakula pisha. Ule church came 19 pendefi kondo na leo ine mulalanda. Kusunge fintu kumutima. Jesus is saying, blessed are you, the merciful. Release yourself, liberate yourself from all that. Blessed are you. Blessed are you, poor in spirit. Blessed are you when you show docility before God, when you humble yourself before God, when you do not consider yourself as a small God. Blessed are you. The saints that we celebrate today indeed claimed this blessedness. They too had their own struggles. They sinned. They had grudges against this one, that one. They went through tough times, but blessed are they because they never allowed any of those things to disturb their faith, to disturb their relationship with God and with other people. Kanshi balipalwa penso ya kwalesa. Na fene twalipalwa penso ya kwalesa iyo twaleko ko bati ubumi bwesu walalanga ikintu kya kwalesa kwa ntu wonse. Iyo twaleko ko bati fintu fo tulepita mota fiona wire kintu kintu twakwata milesa wesu. Twalipalwa. Sainthood is not perfection. Sainthood is holiness. Only God is perfect, but we can still live a holy life. Even if we don't manage to reach perfection, we can still live a holy life. Look at St. Augustine. I always give an example of St. Augustine of Hippo. St. Augustine, they say, committed every sin possible that can be possibly committed by a human being. Alipitire mfemonse fiese abasi onse apwisha afika kumpela kabila tampa na revision. After revision alemba exam apasa kabila tampa kupita mufuti mufine asa alemba na exam. He committed all the sins. That is why his mother St. Monica was praying munganda yakwalesa day in day out, praying for the son. Kwati bwelesa ngachishi nalufya mwana wandi afye chibebebe alubana fye abafye bulole fye. Chishi nalufya crying out to God every day in the temple, in the church, until St. Augustine was converted by the grace of God. And he was only converted because he also allowed himself to be converted. The prayers of his mother worked, but he also presented himself before God and said, I want to change. I want to come out of this. Kashi nangube chilende, nangube kabolala, nangube muntu wachibebere mkombonyumu. It is possible for you to come out of that and be a saint before God as well. It is possible for you to live a holy life, even with all the cracks that you have, with all the sins that you carry on your shoulders. It is possible for you also to come out and live a holy life. St. Thomas Aquinas says, we are all pilgrims. We are coming from God, but we are going back to God. And when we reach God, we are going to see his face as he really is. He calls it the beatific vision. And that is our final destination as pilgrims. To see God as he really is in the beatific vision. Kumona lese mpu miyako wale sefintu yaba. But for you to reach that destination, there is a path that you have to walk. There is a road that you have to walk. And that road sometimes can be rough. That road sometimes can be tough. It can have all these barriers, blockages and all. But your eyes should always be ku destination, kulioleya. Ngawalaposa mano kufyo pitamo, you're not going to reach your destination. Tough times will always be there. Barriers will always be there. But our focus is not on the tough times. Our focus is not on the barriers. Our focus is on the destination, the beatific vision. That is our focus. That is our final destination. All these things, yes, can disturb us, but we should never allow ourselves to remain grounded, because the saints that we celebrate today never allowed themselves to be grounded. They kept pushing. They kept walking on until they reached their destination. And today, they see God as He really is in the beatific vision. Amen.